It's lunchtime, and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from Studio A in the heart of Delray Gallery, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, a movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free at 888-565-1470 right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
I had to turn off my...
I can't do
Look,
nothing
I'm a little flinching because it's a little flinching.
I can't do nothing because she's on
I
her
got
phone.
myself off.
You know, you gotta get off the phone. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe. Welcome to all our friends to South Florida Talk on a beautiful Monday morning. And I just have this to say. If you live north of Orlando, starting tomorrow, you's gonna turn blue. Because it's gonna get real, real cold. Come on down.
It comes that far south into Florida?
This is an Arctic blast like it has never been seen in 150 years.
Are we going to get any cold weather here?
Yes, we are. But it's going to be in the mild 60s, maybe in the 40s.
Because right now it's about 88.
They're talking about minus 40 degrees. I mean, this is such a blast. Tornado Alley has shifted to the right.
Tornado Alley got slammed over the weekend.
To the right. Because the desert of Tornado Alley is moving towards the East Coast. They don't understand why, but the tornadoes are... And let me put it to you this way. Come tomorrow, until next Monday, you are going to be in the soup, baby. And I don't mean hot, I mean very cold.
Be understanding.
I am.
All down here.
Hey, listen, I'm having a cup of coffee. I'm going to the beach at 3, little suntan. Then I'm going to the movies. I am understanding. I lived in that mess up there.
It was a beautiful weekend here in South Florida, is all I can tell you.
That's right. It was nice and sunny. Now, do you know why I'm setting this up?
Why?
Because our guest has decided she's going back to Boston.
She's going to China first, and then Boston.
Oh, China first? I thought you
She's going
said-
to Boston and then China. I know.
Yeah.
It's 14 inches of snow. Why are you going back?
Somebody's got to dig the house
I
out.
have to sell the house.
You got to find the house,
Yeah.
honey. 14 inches and you get another 4 feet. You're going to say, where's the
Oh
house?
my gosh. But Tornado Alley this weekend,
Very bad.
so sad. What they say, 29 people lost their lives?
Very bad. And you know something? It's a good thing the climate, we're not changing the climate of the earth. It ain't us. It's just the Arctic poles. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
It's not funny. It's really sad. People are dying. What's funny about that?
Because we don't take nothing seriously until something bad
Well, you know
happens.
why? Because we got politicians in the office that use everything for their platforms instead of truly what it is.
This has been going on. This has been going on forever.
I
It's
know
not
we
the
don't talk
politics.
politics, but
This is, you know what?
It
We
exists.
as human beings, accountability is everything.
we got global warming. It's 88 degrees March 1st in the South Florida, but it is beautiful. So if you are stuck in the snow, get out of the snow. Well, they have all day today, Dr. Lee, to come down. Dr. Lee has a condo she'll share with you because apparently she's leaving tomorrow. But in the meantime,
Where is your condo?
Wednesday.
Wednesday, I'm squeezing
Yeah,
in an
in Boca.
appointment tomorrow.
Where is your condo? In
East
Bo-
Boca. Yeah, close to Boca Regional Hospital. And I want to say the cold can constrict all the blood vessels. When people shovel the snow, when they press that snow blower, if you press too hard on your abdominal area, actually you can trigger the vagal reflex and your blood pressure will drop and you can pass out. And that happens to my husband I think last Thursday.
He passed out?
Yeah, he passed out. I have to call 911. But before that, I put needles here, and I put on the hand because I don't know if it's the heart or it's just blood pressure. And before the 911 people come and he come back, the blood pressure goes up. So
That's
when you
serious.
press the snow blowing, don't press your abdominal area too hard.
Yeah.
don't think people
in other
realize
words,
that.
In other words, pay somebody $25, let them do
They
it.
go vasovagal and faint.
I had a machine.
Did you
But you
faint?
don't press here.
No,
Don't
mine
press
was
stomach.
automatic. When you press it, it went. There was 2 types of machine. They have the one you have to push, and then they have the other one that you press it and it just goes. I'm not dumb. I had to press and go. It's the same thing with the
The
lawnmower.
schools are closing, and oh my gosh, winter's. It looks beautiful from far away, but in the middle of it, I'm glad we're in sunny South Florida.
Now, what happened? What happened to that critter that saw its shadow?
The groundhog?
Yeah, I heard he froze to death.
I don't know if you saw a shadow or not this year. We have 6 weeks of winter,
He
but
said
we don't have
no,
it down here.
no, we weren't supposed to. But that's what I'm telling you.
But
He
can
froze
you
to
believe
death.
they had all these tornadoes over the weekend and now they're getting snow?
Yeah, I can believe.
That's crazy.
That's called living up north.
No, this is not north. This is Georgia.
That's north.
North of us, but it's not the north.
Okay, follow the bouncy
Everything's
ball.
north of us, I know, except Venezuela, but pretty much.
Jupiter's north.
Yes. But
North.
Georgia's not considered the north.
Oh, it's very cold in Georgia.
Georgia's considered the south.
It's very cold.
It is very cold. They're going to have this Arctic winter blast starting tomorrow.
Come on down to Boca Raton. I got a condo for you to rent because she's going to be going away for a while. Just come on down, join
He
us.
says one word and I continue, and he says another word and I continue. Happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday. We got old friends in the house. We got Jackie Birch in the house, Tony in the house. We got some guests. We got new interns. We got everybody cranking it up today.
Because you know it's spring break.
Is it?
It is spring break.
What do you guys do for spring break?
They're here working.
I don't understand that. Don't
I'm
you
really
guys
glad.
go away?
I went to the beach this weekend.
She went to the beach.
Oh, she went to the beach
In
because
Florida.
she cared.
But I'm really glad it's spring break because there's a lot of reasons. One is we've got Jackie and Ashley and a lot more people in the house as producers. And the other thing is because it's so warm in South Florida, we have to teach our kids to swim because they're in the water all year round. So this show, we've got Dr. Lee with us. We're talking about anxiety and all the things and stress. And you know what? Watching your kids swimming is stressful. We've got swim schools, and on the 1 o'clock hour, we've got Be Like Jake, childhood drowning prevention. Because in South Florida, you can always be near the water, always. And you know what? It's our obligation as parents
Yep.
to teach our kids how to swim.
Because
And it's a level. And what they told me is it's not just teaching your kids to swim. It's not just putting the pool fence. And it's not just watching them. It's the layers of care you have to have for your kids around pools. And in South Florida, the yin and the yang of it, it's beautiful all year round. They get to swim all year round, and water's always near us. And we have to teach our kids to swim.
well, it's Florida. You're always on the beach. You know, your pool is one problem. A lot of kids drown in there, but the beaches are other problems, right? You go to the beach, you're hanging out with your friends, something happens, you get a cramp. You ever notice sometimes in the beach there are these giant holes? You ever seen these things?
No.
Yeah, you fall into them.
Yeah.
It hurts. You could break an ankle. When was the last time you went in the water in the beach? I would lay $1. It's been about 10 years.
It's been a long time.
There you go. Well, they have these holes. Jackie, you know what I'm talking about. In the beach, they have these holes, no? You go in the beach
Sandbars?
too?
Holes?
But like when somebody digs a hole, like
No.
a
The,
child
the,
digs a hole,
her-
you fall
And you
in.
step in.
her mic isn't on.
I
It's-
don't know what kind of holes you're talking about.
Sometimes the waves, when they come in, right, they'll create these holes. So when you're going out, right down on the bottom.
Sandbars.
Okay.
Go off the sandbar and it goes to the
There you go. It's a
And
sandbar.
sometimes you down and you go out in another one.
Yes.
You-
The
but you
rip,
already-
the rip current, right, takes you out. And the worst thing you could do is fight a rip current. You know, people try to fight it when it's taking you out to the ocean. What do you do? What do you do? You don't go in the water.
I don't go in the water. Because
right.
I was telling the ladies, I know how to swim, but I am not a strong swimmer. I can't do swim teams. I never really learned how to dive. All of this stuff that makes me look uncoordinated, I just never learned to do it. But I can swim. So I don't go in rip currents. I really try and stay away from those.
You know, the funny thing, and we'll introduce the ladies in a second, the funny thing about swimming is I was told if you can hold your breath, you can swim.
Is that true?
No, that's not true.
And there you go. That's why I'm such a lousy swimmer.
Yeah, the good technique is blow under the water. You breathe through your mouth and you blow in the water, and that's the correct way that you can swim. You have to breathe
But
out.
how do I get the air?
You take the face out, you breathe, and you take inside the water and you blow all the air. You have to regulate all the air with other techniques that you have to use for a good swimming.
We have Allison and Adriana, correct, with
Yes.
us from
Adriana.
David's Swim School. And thank you to Dylan and Ashley for finding them and bringing them and booking them and doing all the jobs that a producer does. And we were just talking briefly before the show. You start working with pregnant moms.
Yeah, well, first than nothing, thank you so much for the time and for share our information. It's really important to know that Florida is one of the first states in all the United States for drowning. For everybody, it's not only for kids, it's for everybody. It's the first cause of death in all the United States.
Is it?
Yes.
Wow.
As you see, the Department of Children, the Department of Health is going to be in there the statistic of drowning every year. and every year is going to increase every more because nobody's doing nothing about this.
This is crazy.
David Hoyo Swimming School is a swim academy that came from Venezuela since the 80s. My kids are the third generation of this swimming school, and now we're going here in the United States. We have more than 11 years here, so we have a lot of experience trying working with kids and adults. And we start since the pregnancy. We start the second stage of the pregnancy, and we prepare the mother for delivery, an easy delivery, and stimulate the baby in the water. Through the different ages, started at the 6th month. They are ready, they had the vaccines. It's really important to know this because sometimes they say, oh, at the 3rd month, the baby can go to the water. Yes, but it's really hard for them because they don't have all the vaccine, they don't have all the strong enough in the body for being in the water. So we start at the 6th month.
I just got to back up. So 2nd trimester, you've got the moms in the water, preparing them for pregnancy. What does that mean if you're not having a water birth?
You start stimulating and loving the water. So the babies come from the water. So one time that you put in the water is going to be more easy. And delivery is going to be more easy too because the muscles and the delivery way is going to be more stimulate for delivery.
How old is it when you introduce the babies into the water?
I'm sorry?
How old is the child when you introduce them into the water?
6 months.
Okay.
At the 6th month.
Now, I'm going to talk to you as a parent. When you just scared the zippers out of me. So you take a child, if you're going to introduce them into the water, the child is instinctively going to know to hold its breath?
No.
I didn't think so. Because
First,
I don't even do
I
that.
want to say thank you for this amazing opportunity, Freddie and Dawn. Well, what I've seen with my parents' work is that we just don't take a 6-month-old baby straight to the water.
Right.
There's a process, right? What we do is that we stimulate the babies outside the water with lotion. We rub their arms, kind of do like stretching. It's like a whole process, right? So then we go in the water with the mom and the baby. It has to be both of them. Why? Because the baby's attached to the mom.
Right.
We can't just take a random baby in the water and just go into it, right? There has to be a process. We go easy, start with kicking, stimulating the baby. It gets to a point where the baby is so relaxed that they start floating. And then what we do after that is that we...
Oh, man.
Yeah,
You're
they
horrified
start
right now.
floating. So then what we do after is that how we put a baby underwater is that this is how we do it. We blow in their mouth so they can hold their breath. So we blow in their faces, right?
It's all a preparation
So then they hold
you
their
cannot
breath,
take a baby.
and that's how we put them underwater.
Exactly.
And we take them out softly. It's not a whole
like
process of down and up. No, there has to be a process for the baby to start getting used to the water.
I would be terrified.
I see you're terrified. Now I'm looking at your
I would
eyes.
be
You're like in
terrified.
utter panic.
I would be. I mean, it's a science, and I know you guys know what you're doing. You've been doing this for such a long time, but
But the baby's with a parent. They're not just taking the baby and throwing them in the
she
pool.
said the
baby's
mother.
father. They'll be more than happy to let you go in with your grandsons.
I don't think I want to.
Why?
Because it terrifies me to think that, oh my
But you're
God.
there with the baby.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You're
We
there
work
and
with
you're
the
holding.
parents.
The
It's
idea-
a slow process. It's
Yeah.
not terrifying at all because the babies, they're not crying. We keep them calm. We use music. We use toys.
We got
It's a
some-
Kids learn
really
to
nice
swim?
process.
Yeah.
How did your boys learn to swim?
I taught them.
You did?
Yeah.
How?
Because I swam. I took him to the beach, and Freddie was 5 years older than Gio. And I went with him first, and then Gio. Gio actually was a very good swimmer because he's lengthy. So I asked him to go out for the swim team, and he used to do laps and stuff.
How'd you teach them to swim?
I don't know, the way they taught me. Don't put me on the spot. It's probably all wrong. They're the experts. Ask them.
Dr. Lee, did you teach your kids to swim?
Yeah, I think they're much older, but I have a good idea for you because I use acupuncture to induce the delivery. And if in the water, I was thinking if a woman overdue like 40 weeks and they want to induce the labor, maybe, after acupuncture, they can go swimming. Do you think that's...
Exactly. The thing is the water stimulate all the parts of the body, and
Yeah.
it's going to be more easy. It's going to be less painful like a regular. It's not the same that you sit down all day in the house or doing nothing, or maybe working or nothing. That doing a preparation to your body to do a really good delivery through the water.
Yeah, because
The acupuncture for relaxation, but I guess it introduces the baby to the water, and there's a lot of moms that are doing home births in water.
Process
not my thing.
It's a process to put the baby in the water. It's not like throwing the water in the seat. No, it's really step by step that you have to do.
But I remember when my daughter first learned to swim, it was really traumatic. She was a baby, and we were in Texas, the same type of thing. And we started slow, and then that first time when they take the baby from you, and you're watching, and they go under the water, and you're like, oh my God, please, please, please get them back. It's traumatic to watch your kid go underwater and you're not there.
That's the thing. What we do all the time is we do a free evaluation to the parents, and we explain everything step that can be occur in the water. Most of the kids cry in the water, but the parents had to be prepared for this situation. Most of the times, the parents that try to take away the kids from the water, and that cannot happen. You have to be strong, psychologically strong, and say, okay, my kid's gonna cry on the first days because it's the first time they're gonna see somebody new, they don't know the instructor. For them, the pool is like a big sea, and they don't know what's going on in that moment. So we explain all this situation to the parents and try to finish all the program, because what happens is you take away the kids from the water, when his or her start crying, it's gonna be worse. Because when you try to put back in the water to the kids, that cannot happen. They're going to start screaming, they're going to start crying, they're going to start throwing stuff, and then they're impossible to don't be in the water.
And you also do water therapy, and Dr. Lee, this goes so much with acupuncture, where you're talking about pain, rehabilitation, and neurological disorders, stroke, traumatic brain injury. So much of what you do in acupuncture, you're working in the water because of the buoyancy, right? So there's no pressure.
The density of the water is more easy for work with the heavy weight of the body. So when you do the different stimulation of the body, for example, you have a car crash or you have a case in your leg or something, it's going to be less painful in the water because you don't have the heaviness of your body and the buoyancy. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be healthy for you.
Now, I heard that it's harder to learn to swim in a pool because there's less buoyancy than the ocean that has salt content.
Exactly.
You float like an ice cube in the ocean.
And the wave of the sea is not going to help you to do the exercise really well. It's better at a pool.
So you have to have balance. Now, do you know how to swim, Jackie?
I do. I'm not a very strong swimmer like Dawn. I mean, I learned.
Dawn can't swim. Dawn does the dog paddle.
Pretty much.
Right? Tony, do you swim?
Yes.
Are you a good swimmer?
My sister forced me to take swimming lessons when I was about 5 because I almost drowned. A bunch of friends in the neighborhood took me to a local lake, decided to go out in the middle rock, swim back and tell me that was time to learn how to swim. So I was forced to try and swim back to shore, and then went down underwater, of course.
Well, that's a good point, because a lot of people do things when something bad happens. You know, they wait until there's either a death, which is really the worst, but sometimes you almost drown, and all of a sudden, I want to learn how to swim. You ever notice? It's always after the catastrophe.
Because you don't realize the importance of it, right? You think, not me, it'll never happen to me, it'll never happen to my family or my children. And then something happens.
And it takes a second to drown. It's just like, you can drown in 3 inches of water.
Yes.
Right.
The thing is that, some parents, they think that, just because I know how to flow and I know how to swim from wall to wall, I'll be okay, my child's going to be okay. Well, that is not true. We have seen so many cases where, you turn around and like a parent, turns around, they just give a second to the child and that's it. He or she is drowning. And the thing is that, your child might know how to swim back to the wall or float or go on the water, and you can tell that he or she is okay, but it's not true.
It's not.
And you work with all different ages. You start with pregnancy, you go up to kids, you do swim teams, after school, special needs, elderly and adults. My mom, and again, it's Dr. Lee, it helps stabilize blood pressure, blood circulation, everything that we're going to talk about with the acupuncture segment. Because as we get older, right, our blood doesn't circulate the right way. We've got cardiac issues, high blood pressure, and water helps with all of that.
There's also instances where in New York there was a place called Orchard Beach, right? And there was paddleboarding. A lot of paddleball was played at Orchard Beach. And you used to sweat up a storm. It's like when Jackie runs her
6 miles.
6 miles in 2 minutes. And you're all sweating and you're all, your body's heated up. And then you jump in the ocean and you start to cramp up. And even if you swim, there's what they call conditional trauma. Something happens and you have to know how to react, right? Seaweed. You get stung by jellyfish.
Right.
If you get stung bad enough by a jellyfish, you're going to go into this state where you're going to go into shock. What do you do when you're in the ocean? Is more dangerous than a pool. And I understand this, so don't write it. I know the difference. But do you help people overcome their different fears? I hate walking on the beach in the ocean. I wear shoes now, water shoes. I hate it.
That's that we have the difference in David Hoyer Swimming School, because we take all of the persons any age that have trauma for being in the water or maybe almost drown in the water, any kind. We have seniors, people that spend 30 years with a pool in their backyard and never went over there because they was scared of the water.
Right.
And now they're enjoying the water because we treat this kind of affairs that they kind of trauma.
Where do you teach?
We go to their house or community pools, and then can go to our Boca Raton location in Palmetto with Lions.
How far south and north do you go?
I'm sorry?
How far will you go from the Boca area?
Oh, we went to Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami Dade.
Oh, so you go all over the counties.
The far city that we go is Coral Gable. Is the more far that we go.
Wow, I need to send my mom to you, or you to
Your
my
mom doesn't swim, right?
So we travel everywhere. And our difference is that we teach 1 hour class. We don't teach 30 minutes, we don't teach 50 minutes. It's 1 hour class. 2 times of the week. The course is 8 lessons, so you have 6 levels, plus the team, the pre-teen and team. And when you finish the program, you're gonna be an expert swimming.
But I even think for the adults, and you say the elderly, and it's not even the swimming right at this point, but for what it's doing for their cardiovascular health, and stress and anxiety and fitness level, right?
Exactly.
You're not talking about a baby drowning now. You're talking about different health conditions. And you and I talk about it all the time, how water is energy, and the movement of water just helps with so many things.
Exactly. We work for seniors that have cardiovascular situation or maybe blood pressure that can help to relax the stress. We work with people that want to have a really good body. The Swim Fit program is really good because you work all the whole body from the head to the toe. It's going to be really amazing. And we do with special needs kids. Usually, most of the school don't like to have a children with special needs. So we treat all these kids, and it's totally private. It's person to person, instructor and child. It's really private pool. You don't have to share the class with nobody, or have a bunch of kids, in different ages on different levels. It's really gonna be personal. We have group class as well. But what we do is the clients look their own team, similar ages, similar swimming levels, so they have the group team.
How can people find your swim school?
You can find us in www.swimminglesson.us, or you can call us at 954-865-0842.
Now I gotta ask.
Okay.
Why did you open up the school?
What?
Why did you open up the swim school?
Why I opened the swimming school? Well, when we came over here in Florida, the first time we see the situation that have a lot of drowning, and that's what our campaigns do. That's we are expert. We work this in more than 35 years.
You're third generation.
Wow. We're third generation of this.
Wow, that's a long time. So we
started in Venezuela.
It's a family business. So my siblings we all teach swimming, and we pass it on. We try to teach other instructors how to become lifeguards. We also work with the Red Cross. I feel like the reason why my parents wanted to continue this work is because we saw the difference that it make in our country, which is Venezuela, and how many kids learn not only swimming, other sports, and how it changed their lives. Drowning is such a big deal. In Venezuela, there's water everywhere, and here in Florida is the same thing.
There's water everywhere.
Everywhere you see, there's a pool, lake, beach.
And our goal is to create more swim instructors. It's not keep it for us. We want to give this knowledge and pass it on to another person that wanted to know how to teach how
Any
to
of you guys
swim.
know how to teach swimming? Nope.
Yeah, I say go to them. Do you teach swimming in the ocean or is it always in the pool?
It's always in the pool.
You never done it in the ocean?
Well, to learn how to swim, you gotta do
You
it
have
in
to
the
be in the
pool.
swim. Even for apnea, even if you want to go to do for the army or wherever that you want to
gotta
do in the
start in the
water in the
pool.
sea, you have to learn first in the pool.
So
And what's
when
your
they
phone number?
One
Sorry.
time
Hold on. So when they learn that, do you ever take them out
Yeah.
to
You
the
would
ocean?
take it to the ocean,
We go to the
and
ocean
my
and-
husband is a Olympic coach. He teach two Olympic in apnea and open water, and he do that. We start first in the water in the pool, and then we teach them in the ocean.
Interesting.
What's your phone number?
My phone number is 954-865-0842, or you can see our website www.swimminglessons.us.
Stay tuned. We're going to go to commercial break. For questions, give us a call, 888-994-4995. When we come back, more with swimming, water safety, and we're going to talk to Dr. Lee about stress, acupuncture, everything.
And inflammation.
And inflammation. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for a new business opportunity with residual income from the convenience of your own home? Are you looking to help people and yourself take control of your health, lose weight, and feel great at the same time? It's time to drink and drop the pounds with Cafe Canna. No need to keep inventory or sit in an office. With 2 simple sachets a day, you'll receive your daily dose of coffee, CBD, and an appetite suppressant. Contact Bev today at 954-612-1271 or visit their website hempshopstore.com. Drink and drop the pounds to a new business and healthier you.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference if only someone would just listen? It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power, a platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions, a voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have the platform to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting CAFE to 80800. That's CAFE to 80800.
Pure Wave. Supercharge your cells. Energize your body with Pure Wave therapy. Are you ready for improved cell regeneration, less discomfort, a longer, healthier, vital life? Contact purewavenow.com for your consultation. Pure Wave technology strengthens the immune system and metabolism while activating hormone production. purewavenow.com 561-965-7777.
And we're back.
And we're back at the Brooklyn Cafe on.
I'm having
and
palpitations.
You're having palpitations. Well, it's a good thing because I'm reading about anxiety and stress and acupuncture as we're going to commercial break.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Relieving stress and anxiety.
Relieving stress and anxiety, and swimming is a great way to do it. It can induce stress, right? Watching your kids learn to swim, but ultimately exercise in the water really helps alleviate stress. Give us a call at the studio, 888-994-4995. You can find us all over social media at the Brooklyn Cafe TV, where we Twitch, I almost called it Switch. Twitch, Periscope, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere you can find us at the Brooklyn Cafe. Today we are talking about swimming safety, anxiety, stress, because it is spring break, and whereas it's snowing all over the rest of the United States, we've got tornadoes, snowstorms, crazy Arctic blasts. It's 88 degrees in South Florida, and you know what? South Florida, California, people who live in South America and their time of the years are different, right? You said Venezuela is always near water. Florida, you're always near water. We have to teach our kids to swim. And if we don't teach our kids to swim, it's layers of responsibility, and we'll continue to talk about that on the 1 o'clock hour. We also have Dr. Lee with us from Boca Acupuncture Clinic. Welcome back.
Thank you. And I think regarding the swimming, I want to mention that some patients with a stroke, they couldn't walk on the floor, but they can walk in the water. Yeah, so water therapy is so important for people who cannot move on the ground. But
do you work with stroke victims and different traumatic brain injury?
Yes, we use the needles to regenerate the nerves, but combining acupuncture and water therapy, it's a very good way to keep the muscle tone and regenerate the nerves.
It's actually something they use in professional sports, Major League Baseball, football. They have water therapy. They actually have you running. There's a treadmill inside the pool, and they put water waves on you and create
Different
buoyancy
pressures.
and stuff. Yeah.
There's a lot to do with water, but the stress, right? We have to alleviate stress, Dr. Lee.
I think if we do meditation or Qigong yoga, you can strengthen the relaxing part of the nervous system. So everything in this society is stimulating. The phone, the electronics, and the computer, and talking, and everything. So by the end of the day, we just have to rejuvenating, relaxing. And I have a patient when you are in coma or in a shock, you couldn't survive, and then actually the doctor will induce artificial coma, so you shut down everything, and then your body can repair. The same thing with meditation and acupuncture. You just temporarily, artificially turn off your brain and your body, just temporarily relaxing, rejuvenating. So before you go to sleep, you can meditate, you can do deep breathing, and if you couldn't jump start with this, then you probably start acupuncture or swimming and just regulate the body, the nervous system.
You know, Freddie, all the things we have here, we've got Tony from Pure Wave, and I'm sitting here as the connection, the more you're talking about just stopping your body and relaxing and relieving stress and anxiety. And once we teach our kids to swim, and as we're adults and we go to the pool, we do it for relaxation, right? The elderly, we're talking about swimming and working out and the aquatic therapy. You're talking about putting your nervous system to rest. Pure Wave, the same thing. What Pure Wave and you do, Dr. Lee, work so synergistically together. I know you've met, or at least we've made the connection.
Have you met?
Last month. Yes, we were. Yeah.
Right, last month.
Yeah.
And right, if you put the Pure Wave mat on one of your tables, Dr. Lee, you're just getting the benefits of both worlds because you're opening up all the blood and the circulation and then relaxing the nervous system. You two are the only people I know that talk about parasympathetic nervous system like it's a common term, right?
Yeah.
Freddie's like, huh?
What?
Yeah, what? What's that?
But I know the end result.
And what is that?
You're able to do more in the pool. You're able to do more, and Jackie runs and everything else with what these two ladies offer. You know, and it depends on who's going to go first to do what they do. I've sat on Tony's mats, and when we did a show there a couple of weeks ago, I'm going to tell you, I had the best sleep that night that I've had in weeks. It's just very relaxing. I can't keep my eyes open. And when you mix it with Carmen Laser, also with the laser stuff and the therapy, now I haven't had
needles.
I'm going
needles.
tomorrow.
Most people.
I have to tell you, I get to go to Dr. Lee once a month. And I wasn't quite sure where I was going to fit it in my schedule this week. It's this week got a little jam-packed after hours. But she has night hours, and I get to go tomorrow, so I'm really excited. I get my monthly acupuncture treatment. When we get you here, I'm going to get to go more regularly.
Yes, I think start a few treatment at the beginning so that you reset the whole nervous system. So the parasympathetic nerves is so important that even for not only for the stress, digestion, sleep, but also for the immune function. And that's one of the reasons so many people develop autoimmune or cancer. So many people, 1 out of 4 women develop breast cancer in this country. So we need to strengthen that relaxing part with acupressure or acupuncture or a magnetic field, right? That's
right.
That's the relaxing part we need to strengthen. And there's also just recent research showing that acupuncture actually can improve your digestive function. And they also find in certain brain center like medulla, it will actually modified the heart function and the digestive function. So when you stimulate certain points, then your heart rate goes down, become regular, and your digestion becomes stronger. And that's why we strengthen immune function or balancing.
So I sent the article you sent me to my dad last night at about midnight, because everything that you sent me about digestion and heart rate and blood pressure is everything he's been in the hospital for 6 times in the past 4 months. And it just never, no pun intended, dawned on me that acupuncture could do all of these things, right? We're so quick to send people to the hospital and to regulate. And once you get regulated and the doctors say, I don't know what to do anymore, but you still aren't regulated, you go on another medication and they do another test. But there's still things that are going on that we can help regulate with I know you regulate hormones with acupuncture, like we've done that. So many things, stress, resetting, but I never realized that blood pressure and nervous system, digestion, diabetes, all these things that she works with that you have yet to try.
But it's all in there.
You're going to try it?
I will try. I tried it once.
Yes.
We did my neuropathy.
On the floor.
On the floor in the middle of the studio.
It's very efficient.
Well, I didn't say it was clever. I just said we tried it.
But there's a lot of things to try, and people don't realize that acupuncture, how many years? I mean, it's ancient medicine, and it goes back to the meridians. 5,000 years.
Yeah.
And it works. I mean, it is tried and true, and nothing would be around 5,000 years later if there wasn't something to it.
Yeah, I think especially nowadays, because the stress, anxiety, the fast-paced working, and just everything stimulates the nerves. So, and in Florida, there are so many older people, and they have like AFib and irregular heartbeat. And if they can practice the relaxing technique, combining acupressure, acupuncture, anything can relax you, slow down the heartbeat, will help to improve the heart function, so you don't have to jump into the pacemaker and then defibrillator. And so if we can save that to the last 10 years, then you are very likely to live up to 100 years old.
But you know, it's funny you say that, because somebody said to me, do you want to live till you're 99? And I said to them, I don't want to live till 99 if I'm going to live in pain. If I'm going to live in pain, it ain't no fun living till 99.
Sure. What's your quality of life going to be like at 99?
So my message here today is, if you don't try it, you're not going to know whether it works. I love people that come to me and say, you're doing this, or you're doing this, and you're doing this. It's no different than your business. You know, if you lose a child to a pool, which takes less than 30 seconds, then you're going to sit with this regret for the rest of your life, because you had a chance. You had a choice to do it. Exactly. So I hate it when people tell me, well, how do you know it works? Well, how do you know? And how do you know? How do you know it don't? You got to give it a shot. And mix it up a little bit. Do what, a little bit over here. I know this works over here because I've been
Pure Wave
all over. It's been on my legs, it's been everywhere, and it makes me feel fantastic. If I do that and I do the needles and I feel even better because I see the way it affects you.
Uh-oh.
You're going to light her up for a week. She comes in here, all the producers leave.
You know what's funny? People they don't understand what Dr. Lee's talking about with the parasympathetic, calming the central nervous system, relaxing. When they hear the word relax, they think, I don't want to relax, I need energy. And they don't understand that that's actually where the body repairs itself and regenerates. So I think that's the misconception. They always think they need more energy, but the body doesn't heal in that state. That stressors are what are actually damaging to the body.
In a core relaxation, like you take Jackie. Jackie's a very high-strung individual. Jackie can run. Yeah, look at her.
Intensity.
Intense. This is one of the most intense women I've ever met. But in a core relaxation is a little bit different. You know, it's about slowing everything down.
That's something that you even said to me when I first started working here, because I was so hyped up, and every single time I would go to WNN and do the production, I always still have my big cup of coffee, and I'm like, Freddie, oh my God, wait, I didn't cut yet. And he's like, okay, you know what? The coffee's great. It probably tastes really good, but you need to learn on relaxing. And I started incorporating that with school and studying and everything, and I've been seeing better results, like when I'm not staying up on Red Bull and coffee and I'm relaxing and I'm drinking a cup of chamomile tea. It's like, it makes the world a difference.
It does, and it gives you an opportunity to look at life a little bit different, because when you're in the game and you're thinking about your next move, you're way ahead of everybody else, because everybody else is running around panicking. It's like when a child drowns or somebody's in a hospital, in a pool, and things happen. Watch everything around you. Panic sets in. You know, I used to say when the hurricane was coming, panic will kill you.
Panic.
A panic will kill you because you're not thinking. And if
see
you're
a
not
child
thinking,
going down,
you got to know what to do.
Panic.
That's right. You got to know how to address it. And the only way to do, you may be the only calm person in the room. We had this conversation. My mother was choking on chicken bones, and I'm banging on the door trying to get in. And she was surrounded by 8 grown-ups. None of them knew what to do. They were all crying hysterically. She's turning blue. And I knocked the door down. Finally, I got through. And I did the Heimlich. I think I cracked a rib because I was there late. It came out, and she was fine. So I'm looking around, and all 8 of these individuals says, you know, what you're going to kill her because you're panicking. You're not listening to your body. You're not listening to what's going on.
Do you teach, God forbid a child goes down, do you teach rescue?
Yes. We do. We actually, when we start working with the kids, some parents, you know, it's important for them to know CPR, to know what to do in cases where their child, you know, is drinking water and is drowning or whatever the case is, to know CPR. As parents, I feel like it's very important to, you know, like you were saying about your mom, you know exactly what to do, and it's important to teach CPR.
You know what I'm impressed with Allison? She's 19, all of 19, and she's listening to you talk, and she's coming back with the answer to what you say.
But she's right.
She's absolutely right, but how many people, and honestly, think about her level of responsibility that you have at 19 to be teaching kids to swim, engaging the conversation with you as an adult, and understanding what you're saying and having a response.
That's right.
It's really, really impressive.
And you should also panic if you're not doing something to improve inflammation. Inflammation is the #1 problem in all our bodies. It is the one problem that we all share. I live with it every single day.
I think we all do.
Yes, we all do.
Do you think? Dr. Lee, is one way or another, all these itises are inflammation.
Well, it's also on what you eat, what you engulf in your body. When your belly begins to grow, it's an early warning sign you have a problem and you have an issue. You have to change it. The pads underneath your feet being inflamed, your hands, your fingers, everything. All these early signs. So here you have people who can help you with these causes. And don't write to me and say, I don't want to. Don't say that. You don't know.
It's just different options. We're going to go to commercial break. Give us a call, 888-994-4995. When we come back, I want to ask you about the dry water drowning that we keep hearing about, that the kids are experiencing after the fact, right? They're out of the water and then something goes wrong hours later. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Vadiano will help you discover exciting adventures around the world, from cruises to land tours and completely packaged vacations. Paul specializes in all types of travel and will create an unforgettable vacation, wedding, or event just for you. Find Paul at www.cruiseoptics.com, on Facebook, or by phone at 561-232-2626. We make your travel dreams come true.
And guess what?
And where's your bell?
We're back.
We're back at the Brooklyn Cafe TV. I don't know what happened to all your counterparts here.
I don't know.
Everybody else?
We're left for a commercial break. It's not the end of the show, so the set's sort of fluid and evolving.
She had a phone call to go.
Dr. Lee had a phone call? I know, it's all good.
She had to go acupuncture somebody.
Give us a call, 888-994-4995. We've got a lot of busyness going on. We've got a full set of producers that are putting some spots together. We're talking swimming prevention, inflammation. Drowning prevention is really what's so important, right? But you do even more than that. And I wanted to talk about, you hear these incidents on the news where your kids are out of the water, even teenagers, right? They've gone swimming, they've gone diving, and they come out and they just don't feel right. And they go to bed. And unfortunately, sometimes they just don't wake up.
Yeah, that's a myth, okay? Usually when they say secondary drowning, that's not true. Sometimes the secondary drowning happen because they already have some situation in the lungs or some kinds of water in the lungs, and that when the swimming and the waving and the exercise, this pour out, and that happened the secondary drowning, but that is not a cause because they drink so much water in the pool. When you teach swimming lessons, it's like when you ride a bike for the first time. You can fall so many times. You can have a little boo-boos in the knees or something, but it's not something that I'm gonna die for that. Okay? The most that can happen with the babies and when you teach how to swim in a proper way, okay, is then go to the bathroom and do some pee-pee. That's it. The secondary drowning is because they already have some situations that the parent don't notice before, and the lungs start going to filling of water, and that coming for the drowning.
It's like you were telling me that you had to prepare to be a scuba diver, get your lungs bigger, because I'm not prepared. And there's also where people will have things happen after a day of exercise, and they blame the exercise, but the body was carrying something that nobody was aware of, and poof, I mean, it happens. My grandfather died of a brain clot.
Exactly. Something that's already there that nobody noticed.
Right.
And with the water and drinking a little more water and the excitement of being in the pool or being in the beach, whatever situation, the secondary drowning happens. But it's not because they drink a lot of water. You can drown even drinking so much water. When you have a bunch of water coming to your face,
like boarding.
Exactly, and all go through your lungs, you're gonna have a drowning. But the secondary drowning is not true. It's a myth.
That's what waterboarding is about.
Waterboarding?
That's why they say they don't want you to do that because it's an ugly way of dying.
Well, there's a lot of ugly ways of dying, and what fraternities do to the kids of drinking too much, that's an ugly way to die too.
Well, I wanted to talk about that because the kids are all on break, as you can tell. There's a million of them in here.
If you want to see spring break, forget going to the beach. Just come right here.
Now, do you guys know if Florida, down at Fort Lauderdale Beach, is still the spring break?
It's not.
Capital of the world, or they stopped going there?
They stopped because Fort Lauderdale put in all these restrictions.
So where are they going now? They're like sharks. I know they got to be somewhere.
Well,
I think it's Daytona.
They go to Daytona. They go to the Panhandle. They go to Panama City.
Now, you know that Daytona is the only beach you can bring your car on the beach.
Daytona?
Yes. You know how I know that?
Motorcycles too. So Tony says bring a motorcycle instead. I love your
They
answer.
have Bike Week up there.
But you know how I know that, Tony?
How?
I got hit by a car up there. I didn't know that you could bring your car on the beach.
And you know what we didn't talk about yet?
Yet?
Brooklyn Cafe TV on Ice.
What about it?
It's happening. Do you know it's like 3 weeks away?
Yes, and you got to give out hearts and everything else. You got 7 minutes.
We've got our Hope Hearts to give away. We have a new segment starting on Fridays here called Matters of the Mind. Dr. Lee, do you have a heart? Did you ever get a heart?
No, I do have a heart there.
I know you have a heart.
Did
After
you see
all
her
this time-
face? She says, what do you mean? Of course I have a heart.
We're not Wizard of Oz. Of course you have a heart. These are our Hope Hearts, and everyone chooses a heart, and we always say the heart chooses you. You pick a heart, and each one of these hearts has a number on it. You go to brooklyncafe.tv, you register your heart, your Hope Heart. Send us a little message. It's to hold hope in your hand. And whenever you find someone else that needs a little bit of hope and you pay it forward, you ask them to go on and register, and we can see how far hope actually gets to travel. And Ashley's working on the cards for us. We're going to send those out because sometimes it's hard to remember the website. But we say, choose a heart, and there's a saying on the back. We don't know what they say because they work creative for the Brooklyn Cafe TV. Let's pass one over to Mom, and then we'll pass one over to Grandma and around the audience as well. Brooklyn Cafe TV on Ice is happening March 23rd at the BB&T Center. So we had Eileen Limmelman and we had Dr. Jill Schwartzberg in today doing a new segment because we're starting Matters of the Mind on Fridays at 1 o'clock here on what goes on in anxiety and stress and different issues that they deal with at their Authentic Center for Living. And they said, well, we got to come to the event. We said, yes. They said, we're both coming. By the time they left here, they said, well, wait, our son should come and our husband should come and this one should come and that one should come. We've got a whole group of people to come. So all of you, whether you have 1 ticket, 2 tickets, or a group of people, go to our Groupmatics link, buy your tickets. It's an amazing event. All tickets include admission, parking, a pregame show up at the Chairman's Club. We're going to do a live stream show, the game, and then after the game, everyone gets to go on the ice on a red carpet and do a slap shot. Lord Stanley Loft, they're $85. It includes your ticket, admission, parking, the game, Slapshot, and all the food and drink you can enjoy. It is an amazing opportunity to network in the loft level because you can sit and watch the game or you can just hang out and have fun in the loft and network your business, share your charity, your foundation, because at the end of the day, it's all about educating and sharing our resources.
That's right. And also I want to welcome Hey Mr. DJ Limo Services. It's going to be the official car of the Brooklyn Cafe limo service. We're going to be using him. Also, it is working because I got a phone call for the party bus, and I sent. Why are you laughing?
I sent party bus. I know.
I sent the information. They actually booked it.
Who did?
I'm not going to tell you the names, but I will. I tell you what I'll do. I'll bring them on the air.
Bring them on the air.
They are actually having 40 people on the party bus. So if you have needs for a party bus, we have that available for you too. Just saying.
What you got there? So let's see what everyone got on their hope part. Dr. Lee, what did you get? What's your say?
It's be true. So that's.
Well, you're nothing but truth.
She is nothing but truth.
She's brutally honest. She says, Freddie, stop that.
She says, Freddie, what are you eating that's wrong?
She says, stop eating that.
Pretty much.
Put that down.
Yeah, according to scientific research.
Always.
Oh, yeah, it ain't you, it's just scientific research.
Allison, how about you?
Happiness is a choice. Real like that.
That's you. Right? Happiness is a joy.
It
there you
is
go.
a choice.
And Adriana?
I have a sparkle.
You got sparkle. Would Mom get one? Go easy. Is she pretty easy going?
Yeah,
she is.
I don't know how far the hearts went. If not, we'll do them on the 1 o'clock hour. If they, Tony,
Jackie,
you
you
have
ever
one,
got
right?
one?
Jackie, did you ever get a heart?
I did not.
You did not get a heart.
No.
Oh, they're right here. They didn't get that far.
Wedding?
Teddy's going to get you a heart.
Let me get a heart.
Because Jackie doesn't often make it to Studio A.
I know.
All right. Everybody ready for my heart?
We're ready for your heart, Jackie Birch.
Hope.
That is so perfect for you.
And
Perfect.
Jackie's personally inviting her mother to come down to Florida. I hope you come, Mom.
I hope she can come.
Teddy, remember we told you about Ellen? Yeah. Jackie's mom is Ellen. Teddy's mom is Ellen. We need to do the Ellen
is it
show.
really? Oh my God, we need DeGeneres now.
Tell you, well, your mom is down here, right?
I think. Yeah, she's in Boca.
And when is your mom coming down?
I called her yesterday and I said, I kind of miss you.
Did
I
you?
kind of got into a routine. She's here like every week. And
She
now
might be
she's
here
not.
today.
Tell your mom to come down. We're going to do a segment between
I
your
should just
mom.
have her call into the
We're
show.
going to do the
And your
Ellen
mom.
show between the two Ellens. We should bring them both in on VMix, the two Ellens.
No, I want to bring them here. Let mom come down. Tell mom it's
Let's
about to
fly
get
her
cold.
out.
Tell her it's about to get cold. She's going to come running.
She's probably still wearing capris. She doesn't really get phased.
Have her come running. We've got Dr. Lee with us and inflammation. How can people get in touch with you?
You can go to bocaacupuncture.org or bostonchineseacupuncture.org, and you can just type in your searching information, like if you have inflammation in your colon or in the nerves, and just type in inflammation, nerves, or tendinitis, and then there are a bunch of papers, and you can find the information how to reduce the inflammation by changing your diet and meditation. I have a bunch of acupressure points, so you can press that every day by the end of the day before you go to sleep, so you can sleep deeper with improved immune function and digestive function.
Now, when you have gut health, right? Because they don't care about my weight. They measure my circumference, and that's what has to shrink. It's this section over here.
Yes.
They could care less about everything else. They measure that, and that's how they determine my health. So when you have this part beginning to grow on you, then that's an early warning sign that your body's having issues, right?
Yes, so that means your body didn't burn the calories you take. So either you eat a wrong food, like processed food, within 10-20 minutes, and the sugar goes into your bloodstream, and then the insulin release, instead of you burn this calorie, it transferred into fat cells. But what we want to do is we want to eat the whole food, and then the insulin will slowly release. So your thyroid produces hormone to burn the calories instead of storing the fat tissue. And in the fat tissue, actually, there are only two things it can store there. There's no blood cells, and there's no blood vessels, like in the muscle. In fat tissue, you have estrogen stored there. For men, they have more estrogen stored in the fat tissue, and they will develop like breast cancer, prostate cancer. For women, if we have more fat in the belly area, then you have the estradiol, the bad estrogen, to cause the inflammation. Breast cancer, stimulate the breast, the uterus, ovaries, and that's one of the reasons more and more women have the breast cancer, ovarian cancer.
It's amazing she brought this up. Now I understand why they're looking at my thyroid. And you are the first person in the last 2 years that just explained this thing that now I understand the reason why. How you like that?
She's always truthful. Always.
Yeah, that's the
I think that's Mom's phone.
Mom's phone?
Dr. Lee is always truthful. Now it makes sense, right? It's the hormones that are released. It's not just the food.
It makes sense because no matter how much weight I try to lose, my body is not burning it correctly. And this is why they have me engulfing a lot of water. They want me to go through the system. They wanted to clean out the system. But maybe it is the thyroid, and I've been looking at this the wrong way. Because thyroid problems run in my family.
And you know what? Dr. Lee is so great with regulating so many things with acupuncture. I'm not saying get off your medications, but sometimes you'll be able to get off your medications. So always consult with your doctor as well before you eliminate any medications from your daily routine. But contact Dr. Lee. It's truly remarkable. She treats things that I don't know she treats until I see them being treated. And we'll just leave it at that. She changes everything, and it's absolutely painless. It's a great way to take a little bit of rest, relax, and feel so much better. What is your phone number again?
It's 617-817-1910.
And maybe after this next snowstorm, we'll get you here before July.
Yes, and then we can talk about more longevity secret.
And tell us again the phone number for David Swim School.
It's 954-865-0842.
Stay tuned. We've got more coming up with Live Like Jake, childhood drowning prevention. We're talking infant swimming as well as pool safety, because you know what? It takes the layers to keep your kids safe. Give us a call. We're switching over in 2 and 2.
4.
We'll be right back.
Conference.
station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Hello, boys. It's Crystal Gale,
Marcus Clovis,
and Alan Knight.
Join us for Better Choices, Better Health radio program,
where we're going to inform you on great choices.
I need that.
Yes, you do.
Saturdays at 11 a.m. and Sunday nights at 9.
The Money Talk Radio Network is WSBR Boca Raton, W280DU Boca Raton, and W245BC Lauderdale Lakes.
It's time to lace up your shoes to support your favorite charity. Join the spirit of giving for the Community Spirit Race Saturday, March 9th at FAU Stadium in beautiful Boca Raton. This certified and chip-timed 5K and 1 mile run walk will help support more than 25 area nonprofits. Participants receive a t-shirt and finisher medal. Post-race is a kids fun run, award ceremony, a nonprofit and vendor expo promoting health and safety, a kids zone with inflatables and fun activities for all. Show your community spirit of giving. Sign up today at spiritrace.org.
Have you tried investing in the stock market and haven't done very well? Come into Online Trading Academy. Have your investments lost money and you're frustrated because the only thing your broker says is write it out? Hop in the car and get to Online Trading Academy. Pro investors show you how money is made in up, down, and sideways markets. You'll see the best way to pick stocks, options, futures, and Forex using a patented rules-based strategy taught only at Online Trading Academy. How to find the right investments, how to time the market, how to protect money from risk. For over 20 years, thousands have learned how to invest from home at Online Trading Academy. Come in and see what this school's all about at a free half-day class. They're all over Miami-Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, Stewart, and Port St. Lucie. Seating is limited, so call Online Trading Academy now to win a pair of tickets. 954-668-2510. 954-668-2510. 954-668-2510.
The Cooking Tools reminds us that every minute in the United States, a woman is diagnosed with breast cancer and over 40,000 die. The exact cause is unknown, but the biggest risk factor is age. The best way to protect yourself is with regular self-exams, and most importantly, be sure to schedule your annual mammogram. This from Cooking Tools at 10570 Maple Chase Drive in Boca Raton. Call 561-218-1118. 561-218-1118.
Talk here. Talk there. Talk 1470 AM and 95.3 FM. The Health and Wealth Radio Network. WNN.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference if only someone would just listen? It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power, a platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions, a voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have the platform to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting CAFE to 80800. That's CAFE to 80800.
Cruise Planners, an American Express travel representative, has a tremendous reputation for quality, service, and very competitive pricing for all of your travel needs. As a Cruise Planners travel advisor, Paul Vadiano will help you discover exciting adventures around the world, from cruises to land tours and completely packaged vacations. Paul specializes in all types of travel and will create an unforgettable vacation, wedding, or event just for you. Find Paul at www.cruiseoptics.com, on Facebook, or by phone at 561-232-2626. We make your travel dreams come true.
It's lunch lunchtime, and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from Studio A in the heart of Delray Gallery, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, a movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free at 888-565-1470 right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
And welcome to part 2 of today's show. Welcome to South Florida Talk. All our friends at WNN, the Beasley Radio Network down in Boca Raton, Florida.
You should be doing radio. You got that radio.
We are doing radio.
Beasley
I got no radio.
Network.
First of all, let me tell you, I got the worst radio voice in the world, but I don't care.
Do you remember when we were on that other radio channel?
No.
And they told you that you had this distinctive voice like Froggy?
Boy.
Who's laughing at that, Jackie?
What a compliment. What a compliment. Yes, I remember that.
Distinctive voice.
Yeah,
neither one of us have a radio voice.
That was a friend of yours.
It probably was.
Yeah,
was it?
Yeah, it was. Somebody who didn't like me very much.
Really?
Yeah, she called me all sorts of names.
That distinctive radio voice.
But you know what, baby? I'm still here. How you like me now?
Happy Monday. It is spring break. And if you want to know what spring break looks like for the millennials, apparently come on down to our studio, because I'm really grateful because they're all here. They're hanging out. We're in Studio A at the heart of Delray Gallery, 1440 North Federal Highway in Delray Beach. Give us a call, 888-565-1470. You can find us on 95.3 FM, 1470 AM, live streaming all over social media. And if you all want to share the show out live, you can share it to all of your Facebook pages while we're here so everyone can see and interact while we're live. Do you even know who's on the show today?
Nope.
That's what I kind of figured, but it's definitely a show that you want to listen to. And as Freddie always says, get out your pen and paper, or if you're millennials, get out your cell phones and start taking notes in your phone, because the resources that we have shared with you today and we continue to share on the 1 o'clock hour are life-saving for you, your family, and your children. And that's the most important thing, saving your child's life.
This is heavy.
Happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday to you, too. Listen, caring is sharing, so if you're watching today's show, share it out. If there's information in here that you want to share it out, I think we're going to have the phone numbers up. Is that what we're doing?
We're going to put everything up on the screen?
Yes. Oh, look at this. He wrote that questions, comments, call in. Very nice.
Dylan, nice job on the 12 o'clock hour. And Ashley, nice teamwork. Dylan found a segment and Ashley brought them forward. So it's all about teamwork and no competition and really just sharing resources.
No, I'm going to
Did Tony leave?
No, she went somewhere.
Okay.
Who knows? Just like that. Listen, I'm going to put it out there. The kids have the green room all set up. If you can hear us on the radio and you're close by to 1440 North Federal Highway, and you want to come down and share in about what we're going to talk about, we're going to film it and we'll give you the clip.
Brooklyn Cafe TV on Ice coming up in 3 weeks, and I'm hoping, and I spoke with Carrie about it, that Be Like Jake is going to be one of the foundations. Live Like Jake is one of the foundations that's going to be working with us on childhood drowning prevention.
Very cool. All right, what do you got cooking here, baby?
We got a lot cooking, but save the date, March 23rd. Go on Groupmatics, purchase your tickets for the Brooklyn Cafe TV on Ice. All tickets include ticket, parking, pre-game show up in the Chairman's Club, the game itself, and then afterwards we're all going to go down on the ice, do a slap shot, and it's all about giving back to the foundations that we work with. You can see this spot here is before I met Carrie, but certainly we will add Live Like Jake to our organizations. $6 from every ticket purchased on the link goes back to one of the foundations or charities of your choice. All you have to do is really simple, is type in the name in the box. Really, really simple.
And
the Panthers are keeping track of all of it. That's how they keep track of it. After the game, they cut a check right back to the charity and foundation. We have nothing to do with it. All we're doing is bringing it forward. It is a great way to network and share resources, and always about the betterment of our children and families.
And we will have something to do with the party that we're going to have there. We're doing a show there. We're going to have music. We're going to network the network. Let everybody come on, as many as we can. We're looking for hundreds of people to come into this thing.
It's in 3 weeks, Freddie.
That's what I'm saying.
It's coming up.
Well, it's okay. A match, it takes sometimes a second for it to burn. But do this if you don't do it, then shame on you. I mean, this is not costing you anything. We're asking you to bring it in. The $35 tickets, $65 tickets, and $85 tickets. We will be in the loft at the 85 if you want to hang out with us. That's what's going to cost you as well as it's costing me.
Great networking opportunity to share your resources and to spread the word and have some fun while we're doing it, right? You got to have some fun while you're doing what you do.
Good to go. All right.
Well, I wish Tony were here because how I met Carrie was, you remember the day we were at Pure Wave on location?
How
and
could
I
I
walked
forget?
out on you.
How could I forget?
I walked out.
You
We
walked
were
out.
at Pure Wave right across the street from Marco's Pizza. And we left this amazing on remote shoot. And I said to Fred, I got to go. He says, what do you mean you got to go? I said, I got to go get some food, which is so unlike me just to like leave at the end of the day to go get food. I walk into a pizza place. Again, so unlike me to walk into a pizza place. And on the counter, while I'm waiting for them to make me something, I find this flyer. Right? So not in character to have a Live Like Jake childhood drowning prevention flyer to be in a pizza place. And I thought, all right, as we always say, you have to read the messages that God puts before you. And I took the flyer, and as I left, eating in my car, I called you, literally eating in my car, and Carrie answered the phone, and I thought, oh my gosh, we have talked about swimming over the summer and keeping your kids safe and summer safety. But you know what, in Florida, it's year-round. We are surrounded by water. Everyone has a pool, whether it be a community pool or a pool in your backyard, or you go to a neighbor's, you go to a barbecue. And the most important thing we can do is teach our kids to swim. So I was reading your flyer, and Carrie answered the phone. And so welcome. You got a lot of Carries and Caseys and Christies, Freddie. So just follow the bouncing ball, or just say how you doing. So don't even try. I'm giving you a heads up.
I'm going to write it down.
But I met Carrie, and Carrie, I want you to share the story of Jake and the scholarships in childhood drowning prevention that you do.
So Jake was a special little boy, and at the 6 weeks shy of his third birthday, sorry, it's still emotional, we were visiting family members on the Thanksgiving holiday, and he managed to escape the home that we were visiting, and he fell into the intercoastal and lost his life to a drowning. This was just over 5 years ago, and as you can see, it's still very raw. It's life-changing losing a child. But losing a child to something that's preventable, it hurts even more. And my daughter was 3 months old at the time, and I told my family that next day that I had heard of these self-rescue lessons. I said, I don't care what anyone says or thinks, when she's old enough, she's enrolled in these lessons. So Julie started at 8 months old, and just seeing the progress and seeing our little girl be able to save herself from the tragedy that took her brother, it just lit a fire for me. We started the foundation, Live Like Jake. We provide scholarships for ISR self-rescue swim lessons all over the nation. And to date, we have actually done over 1,300 of these in 23 states.
Wow.
It's remarkable.
It is
and
remarkable.
when I spoke to Carrie, I said, I found this flyer in Marco's Pizza, right? Tony, this is right across the parking lot from where you are. And I even asked them, I said, is someone here involved with this foundation? And no one there knew. And you told me, what did you tell me?
So the family that owns the pizza store lost their son to a drowning accident about 2 years ago. Every year we have a 5K, and they came last year, and we honor these children and these families, and we've become friends, and they have since had another little girl, and she has now gone through ISR and can save herself, and they just wanted to spread awareness. And again, you wouldn't think in a pizza store, but
you would never. And we talked about this when you were here last week. Everything happens for a reason, right? And following the messages that are brought before you. And this was clearly, I mean, if it didn't have a blinking light and a piece of wood hitting me in the head, it could not have been any more of a message that it was something that I needed to reach out to you. And again, I thank you for helping create this platform, Freddie, because it's why we are here, and it's why, and we have a lot of fun, and we have great segments, but clearly there's nothing more important than saving the life of your child.
Well, the object of doing the remotes, okay, that you brought this up when we were at Tony's place, and it's really funny how some things sometimes happen. And you're talking to somebody that you worked with for the last 3 years, and never has she ever said, I got to go. I didn't question it. I just watched her walk away. And all of a sudden, all this other stuff unfolds, and it just unfolds, and it gets deeper and deeper. And again, I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
But if there is a silver cloud to this thing, and I know as a parent that's hard to hear, the number of lives that now you are saving with what you're doing here is remarkable. I mean, this is an amazing, amazing thing that's come out of the ashes of this tragedy. So. And
Carrie says to me, how many people can I bring? How many do you want? And you have Christina and Jared with us, and you're also part of Live Like Jake.
How you doing?
Welcome.
How you doing?
Hi. Welcome.
Get closer to your mic.
Yes.
That way you can talk into them and we can hear you.
And how did you get involved with Live Like Jake?
3 years ago, Thanksgiving 2015, our twin boys found their way to our pool. Leighton lived for 12 hours after the drowning. Jackson's still here. And want to take over?
Yeah. So we got involved with Live Like Jake. We were, as we said, our son Jackson, he survived the drowning. So we went to Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital in Fort Lauderdale. And we just reached out to a lot of people were reaching out to us through Facebook, and Carrie was one of them. And I think I was actually the first person to reach out to Carrie, and she invited herself down to come see us at Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital. And you know, from there, it's been you know, one of the best relationships we've had before or after the accident. So you know, we love Carrie and everything that she stands for with Live Like Jake, and she's also scholarshiped our son to do ISR, who is now he can self-rescue now, and he's and we have a daughter who's 10 months old who will be starting very shortly, and she'll be able to self-rescue. And we had no idea about ISR before the accident happened, so it wasn't we just had no idea about it, and if it wasn't for Carrie, we probably still wouldn't know about it. So,
and how is your son doing now?
He's not well. His brain damage is very global. He you know, he's still Jackson, but he's a different Jackson. He's not the same Jackson before the accident. It's we had to fall in love with a whole nother child, and which is fine. And he teaches us a lot about life and God and patience and everything else. So he is here with us, but you know, he's not well at all.
Not easy. You know, when I was in New York, I had a pool. And I'll never forget this, because Giovanni, my son, was circling the pool. Now, Gio, you know how he is. He didn't listen. And I said, I want you away from the pool, because his brother was in school and Gio was messing around. And we had gotten Sammy the pit bull. And Sammy the pit bull was barking like crazy because Gio had fallen in the pool. And I ran out and I got Gio out. And I got lucky. But it taught me a lesson. It doesn't, you know, sometimes you are so vigilant and you want and you try so hard, you know, but sometimes things happen that take it out of your hands. So I remember when I came down to Florida, I saw these gates and everything they put around pools. I still know people that lost their kids, even with the gates. I mean, things happen. So I think that the best way is to prevent them by teaching kids to swim, by giving them an opportunity to get in the water and defending themselves, because you can't be around 24/7. What's it take, 30 seconds? Mm-hmm. Less than that, I heard.
And I know Carrie sent some pictures. Is it okay if we put them up? Dylan, there should be some pictures on the deck that Teddy downloaded. We've got pictures of Jake. We've got pictures of the twins. And I think Jackie's going to document. That's the swing from ISR.
That's one of our scholarships.
Oh, tell us about the scholarships.
So that's my daughter, Julia. Basically, if you're a family, that's Julia again. If you're a family that can't afford the lessons, you go to our website, livelikejake.com, and you apply for a scholarship.
And Jake.
That's Jake. And the lessons, I mean, we have an ISR instructor here.
That's Leighton and Jackson.
And Jared, when he was talking about his son with the swim lessons, that's another son, Kason, just so they have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. How many kids do you have?
6, including Leighton is obviously gone to be with Jesus, but
Well, I didn't expect you to say 6.
yes, 6.
Holy smokes! I thought you'd stop at 4, 6.
Yes,
How
ma'am.
old are they?
13, 10,
4 and a
4,
half.
2,
Wow.
10 months.
Oh my goodness!
10 months.
Yes.
This happened.
They did it again.
Yes.
Then this family has really, really touched my heart and become very close. Whenever I'm feeling down and sorry for myself, I think about them and the fact that both of their children, you know, it sets me straight, that's for sure. And they're extremely strong and passionate and, you know, huge supporters of drowning prevention and using their story to save other lives, for sure.
It's a good message because Florida, you know, it is all about the water down here, and there's water in pools everywhere. And the quicker we get hip to the game, yeah, we're always talking about don't wait until something happens, take action before. And I'm going to call my son right after the set. I'm going to tell him they got to enroll rowing. And G already has texted me that he's going to enroll his kid too. He's having a baby in April. And they're going to enroll him just to get him prepared to do this thing. But don't wait till something bad happens.
Rowan is what, 9 months old now? 10 months
10
old?
months. 10 months. So he's got to go. He's got to go and do. You know, they live by a lake, too. That's another issue. A lot of people don't look at where you live and take into accountability that the worst thing that can happen in your life can happen in a flash. Don't take it for granted that you have the answers, because you don't. You really don't.
But, you know, like you said, Freddie, whatever silver lining there is, the amount of lives, Carrie, that you actually had the foresight to say, I'm going to keep moving forward, and we're going to make Jake's loss, we're going to help others, and know that he's always with you, and say, how many other families can we help support? And, you know, when I spoke to you on the phone, I was trying to wrap my head around, I don't understand with the scholarships, how that works, right? Because, it's, you know, people have lost their children, and then what? But you use it for your other kids, and you see the benefit of teaching them ISR and swimming. And I know we've got pool safety fence, and that's the first thing that we always run to. But I guess my kids are older, and infant swimming was something that we just didn't do then. You know, you waited until maybe they were 2.5, and that was like pushing it. We never did it when they were that young.
I never heard of it until I came to Florida. I never heard of that in New York, ever.
Infant swimming?
Ever.
There's quite a bit of it in New York.
I know, but I didn't know. And it's funny because in the hour before we were talking about this, and it terrifies me. I says, wow, you know, you take a newborn or you take a 6-month-old and you're teaching them how to swim, and I'm looking at these pictures. You know, I dodged the bullet, is the way I look at it. This thing with Gio, I dodged the bullet.
You know, you talk about you know, Jake found the intercoastal. There are kids that find bathtubs and buckets of water. And we'll talk about that also, right? It's not always a swimming pool or a lake or a large body of water. It's what do we do to help prevent all of these accidental drownings. So we're going to go to commercial break. Give us a call, 888-565-1470, and we will be right back.
At Carmen Care Advanced Laser Therapy, our professional team specializes in finding the best alternative laser therapy treatments for your painful conditions. Do you suffer with chronic pain, a post-traumatic injury, or simply looking for the benefits of cell rejuvenation to the skin? Schedule a consultation today to understand how photobiomodulation can help reduce your symptoms, reduce or even eliminate pain. Give us a call today, 561-405-9577. We focus on treating you who has a disease, not a disease that defines who you are. Contact Carmen Care Laser Therapy today, 561-405-9577 or CarmenCareLaser.com.
vCard Global is the world's smartest business card that virtually allows a person or business to digitally share all of their information. With a vCard, sharing information is one simple click away. No need to open emails, websites, or social media. Updating information is easy and instant. vCard Global is the ultimate marketing tool, transforming the way we connect, communicate, and collaborate to grow your business. Text JENNG to 80800. Revolutionize your business card. For information, contact Jennifer. Text JENNG to 80800 for your free digital business card today.
Sexy, seductive, and beautiful. Looking for a professional and talented photographer? Danielle Boujon specializes in capturing flirtatious and tasteful images for yourself or your partner. Located in South Florida, Danielle really knows how to bring out your inner beauty on a shoot. Visit her website at www.daniellebuljan.com or call her at 561-305-2241 to capture your most desirable moments.
Thank you for watching the Brooklyn Cafe, where every day is a new adventure. If you'd like to join Dawn and Freddie S. at the cafe, give them a call at 888-565-1470 toll-free. Come on in for a cup of coffee or call to share a thought for the day and get all the information you need to help your business grow. Don't forget, sharing is caring, and to like this video. Let's reopen the cafe doors now. Back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back. And we're back at the Brooklyn Cafe TV. Give us a call at 888-565-1470. You can find us at 95.3 FM, 1470 AM, all over your social media network. And soon to be, where else, Freddie? On Apple TV?
On Apple TV, and we're going to be doing Amazon Prime, we're going to be doing Netflix, and yada, yada, yada. We are going to television, baby.
Coming soon to a Roku stick near you. Is a Roku a stick? Nope, I just combined two things.
Fire Stick, I don't know what it is. It's a
I
whole
just
bunch
combined Roku and stick.
I just listened to Teddy.
But it's all just about sharing our resources as much as we possibly can. And this segment, we're going to send up to one of our cable outlets, Freddie.
Yes.
We'll put that out. Dylan, you'll edit that. And the producers are going to put together an article. Jackie's going to run that at Lynn University. And then, Teddy, I know let's send out a separate edition of the Gazette with this. I don't want to wait a month to get it out. I want to get this out as soon as Jackie does the article and all of these guys get all of these pieces put together. And Tony, see, none of this would have been possible if we weren't on location with you. I know. True.
True that.
True that.
If you didn't end up disappearing.
You know?
That was kind of funny, though.
You were meant to sit next to Paul.
But that was kind of funny, the way you just sort of flooded away.
It's funny now when you see the reason why, but at the time it wasn't so funny. But being on remote and everything happens.
But you remember, Yes Man took my keys, so that delayed us leaving.
Right.
Right? Yes Man came in, and then he's sitting there, and we were there longer because he accidentally took my keys, so this whole thing sort of fell into play.
At Pure Wave. So Tony, I'm really glad you're here to be witness to the greatness that we experience being part of Pure Wave over at the Quantum Towers. And now I have to go to my names because we've got Casey and we've got Christy sitting over here. Do you want to make the introductions, Carrie? I know.
Christy is an ISR instructor, and ISR stands for Infant Swimming Resource. And Casey is the owner of Lifesaver Pool Fence in Palm Beach County.
Excellent. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having us. Thank you so much for joining us. And when we moved to Florida, you always know the first thing you do is put your pool fence. You know, your son too, right? They bought a new house, they had to put a fence. It's the first thing you do. And I think even before we take our kids swimming lessons, we automatically go to, we have to put a pool fence. You must have had one with, you know, a mini baseball team that you guys had over there, right? 6 kids, 5 kids. You had a pool fence?
They did not have a pool
fence. You did not have a pool fence.
I think that when you buy a house now, part of the final inspections, you have to have one. I could be wrong, but I think
that's a law they're trying to.
Is that what it
passed.
is? Okay.
Yeah.
And we were renting from the house that we were at.
Any new pool that is being built has to have some type of safety measure. But that's the problem, that the state has slowly kind of eased up on that. It used to be a fence, then it was a fence or an alarm. Casey can probably tell you more. Now it could just be a floating pool alarm. Which
How can that not be a law in Florida? I mean, we've got so many other crazy things that pass. How is this something that is not part of?
I mean, there's actually a new bill that's kind of been floated around that's going to that's going to, you know, kind of elevate the number of layers. That's going to, you know, make a couple more requirements and things like that. But really, the kind of gist of the law as it is right now is that the pool needs to be protected on 360 degrees, and there's a number of ways to do that, and one of which is a silly floating alarm, which doesn't even work, and it's battery operated, and right now that's legal to do that, which is silly. You know, so hopefully, you know, California kind of leads the way, and this bill is kind of drawing from California. So I think this will be a good step, but, you know, it has to pass in order for it to become a law.
Now in the Bronx, they used to put this jelly foam on top of my pool.
Right, like a cover.
Like a cover, and
right.
It was supposed to be so that it heated up the pool, and then they required these clips. So if you fell in, you fell on top of this jelly cover.
Right.
And it had an alarm. And that was great. It worked for the first year.
Right.
But come the second year, the clips broke.
Well, yeah.
And so that didn't work.
Yeah, and the problem with we don't see a lot of covers down here in Florida because we use the pools year round. So, you know, up you know, in the north, obviously you close the pool down in the winter time, so that's fine. The problem with you know, a cover or a net even, and nets are great too, but the downside to a net is you can't swim in the pool with the net on. Whereas with the pool fence, the fence can be up, you can have people in the pool swimming, and you can have babies outside the fence at the same time. Whereas, you know, with a net or a cover, it's either on or it's off.
Right.
And a lot of times what happens is they're a pain to put them on and off, so the pool guy has to take it off every week. And might not get put back. Or if you're going to use the pool through the weekend, well, you might take it off on Saturday, and then Saturday night you say, we're going to swim tomorrow, so let's just leave it off for the night. Whereas a fence, you go in, you swim, you go out, and you know, so it's a little easier, more convenient.
Now, is there a door to the fence? You come in and out?
There is, yeah. We do. You don't have to have a door, but and the way that works, and kind of there wasn't, you know, pool fence has really only been around for about 30 years, and Lifesaver pool fence, the founder, which is one of my best friends, Eric, was his father, started Lifesaver pool fence out of their garage in Boynton Beach, right here. And Lifesaver is the largest pool fence manufacturer in the world, pretty much. So there wasn't always a self-closing, self-latching gate, but now, you know, with progress, yeah, now there is. So it's an actual door, and you don't have to worry about the human error of somebody forgetting to close the fence back, which is.
And it's lockable.
And it's lockable, key lockable.
And
right.
There are different types of fences, I'm assuming.
There's a wide range. Yeah, I mean, from do-it-yourself fence, which we manufacture and we sell it directly to Amazon. That's you know, a great option for people that maybe don't have a guy like me who can come and install it for you, maybe in the Midwest or, you know, wherever. And then we have kind of a wide range of different calibers of pool fence, if you will, and some are stronger than others. But at the end of the day, you know, anything is better than nothing. Yeah.
What are some of the things we should look for when people are looking to buy a pool fence, right? We know in Florida, the best is to drill it in the ground, and we have but right, you're talking the Midwest, people who don't have pools year round, what they need to do. And Amazon, right? This is a
yeah.
What type of product is that?
It's very similar. It's just that, and it's still drilled into the ground. It's just that you don't need any special tools like an actual core drill. You know, any handyman can install them. And we've got plenty of resources to help people figure out how to do them. There are gates with the do-it-yourself fence as well. So it's a great option, you know, and down here we don't do a whole lot of them because, you know, it's not cost effective for somebody to save maybe $100 or $200 when I would come out, I'm licensed, I'm insured, I can put it in for you.
And we're looking at a certain height.
The height requirement in Florida is 4 foot if it's being used as a barrier. And what I mean by that is that's what's required by the law. But you can use different heights. In California, their height requirement is 5 foot.
That's a nice height.
Right. And then again, you know, the requirement for railings on banisters and skyscrapers is only 42 inches. So, it's kind of, I always tell people you can do whatever you want, but the requirement in Florida is 4 foot if it's being used as a barrier. But some people want a shorter fence. We do a lot of fence for dogs even. It really just kind of depends on the need and the family.
And how did you all start working together? How did you find Lifesaver Pool Fence, Carrie?
When we were having our 5K, we were looking for sponsors, and we initially had reached out and we made the connection. And one thing I want to point out about Lifesaver and Casey is that if they give a free fence to any family that's been affected by a drowning.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And
oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
they have personally helped several families that we have made contact with,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been a blessing to those families for them. And
Yep.
they come right in.
Happy to do it.
And they take care of it like that. And
wow.
Yeah, it's
That's remarkable.
Yeah.
It's a big
It's a good
deal.
way. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how
They give
long
back.
we've been, when we did the first Live Like Jake run, but Carrie is just, beyond, you can't even really put words to, she's an inspiration. And it's just, we're happy to do it, it's just a good thing to be involved with. And obviously we've all got the same kind of mission here, just spread the word of drowning prevention. If it's not a pool fence, then absolutely, drowning prevention, and we always say it's about layers, and it's, layers of protection. So, and it starts with supervision. That's obviously the first layer. And, when I go to talk to people about pool fences, I always say that the fence is like the last layer. Means everything else has failed, all the other layers. And, even beyond a fence, like Jake, I mean, there's intercoastals, there's lakes. So you're not going to put a pool fence around a lake.
Right.
So, that's where the ISR kind of comes in, is critical layer. We have a 3-year-old. We went through ISR, and, it's just great.
How old did you start your 3-year-old with ISR?
I think 2, maybe 1.5, 2.
And Chris, you're with ISR.
We were after him quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And ISR, because I didn't know what it stood for either, was Infant Swimming Resource. I'm getting all these notes from Carrie as I'm driving down to NN one Thursday night. And because she's so amazing at what she does, she followed everything up with an email, and she's kept me on point. She said, all right, how about I bring in ISR, and how about I bring in Pool Fence, and all these families. Tell us what ISR, because if you don't know, it's Infant Swimming Resource. Tell us what that is and how it starts and how early we can start our
We've been around
kids.
for actually over 50 years, if you can believe, as a method.
Wow.
It started by our founder actually coming home as a college student and finding that his neighbor, who was, I think, somewhere around 18 months at the time, had passed due to a drowning. And at that moment, he set his life's mission into making sure that that never happened again. And through many, many years of research and development that continues to this very day, this program was created and continues to get better every single day that we have the opportunity to teach it. We feel like we've got a superpower in our method in being able to help save children. We start as young as 6 months and able to sit independently. So Everly, who's almost 10 months, because she was a micro-preemie, is working on an adjusted age. We need our children to be able to sit up independently and pull themselves up to seated, because we need to be able to have that core strength available for them to be able to rotate onto their back and float. And before they have those muscles set up, they really aren't able to learn the skills quite yet. So that's with our infant age. Once they start walking, we can actually teach them to be able to swim and pull themselves out of the water as well. So
How does it start? What's the first step? Do you go in with the parents? Do you take them on their own and you
it's
just
all
go?
one-on-one with an instructor.
Okay.
The first step for us is breath control. So what that means is that the child, if they are presented with the water, they are breathing when they're above the water perfectly fine and capable. And if they go underwater, they hold their breath. If we do not see that, we don't move on to anything else until we've achieved that. The previous program you had in here, we're speaking a little bit about hyponatremia. I don't know if that word actually was mentioned, but what that is water intoxication. And we would never have something like that happen in our lessons, because from day one, we are certain that we are teaching these children the proper way to hold their breath and make sure that when they feel the air on their face again, that they are also breathing comfortably. So water intoxication, you mentioned also about like a college student on spring break drinking too much. There was actually a famous radio story about a contest that a radio station had run with how much can you drink water. Just a very innocent thing, and actually their blood chemistry got completely altered, and the person ended up passing away from it. So it's a real issue. So our lessons are kept really short. We pay attention to every single tiny detail, but it always starts with breath control, and then we start worrying about how they move within the water, and from there we're able to get this swim, float, swim, or this wonderful roll back to float.
Dylan, can you show us some of the pictures of the kids swimming, please? And then you can walk us.
There's a video of my daughter Josie on Facebook that has over 200 million views.
Wow. I wasn't sure if we could bring that up.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
If you go on to Google and just put in Josie Live Like Jake video, it'll pop up.
And you told me you had gotten quite a bit of comments about the video.
Oh yeah, it was quite interesting. They actually flew us out to New York to be on Fox and Friends, and I did 10 interviews in 4 countries. 6 countries, 4 days, something like that. All just defending myself from this video. But
what does the video show?
It just shows her sitting on the steps. She's only 6 months old, fully clothed, and we kind of coax her in with the shoe, and she falls. And I get it. Like, I'm sure had I not experienced this, I probably would have had the same reaction. Maybe like my heart would have stopped because she falls in, and you don't know she's going to turn over and save herself. And the video is like a minute and 52 seconds that she was floating.
So people would thought that you had deliberately put her in the pool or something?
They just, I think some people just complain to complain, but there were a lot of positive, response, but just, her lips are turning blue. They're not. She wasn't even crying, but people, for some reason just see a negative in anything. So to me, I went on the defense, defending, my choice as a parent to keep my child safe, especially after losing a child. Like I mentioned before, when you lose a child, it's devastating, but when you lose them to something that's preventable, that eats you up every single day.
That's right. You have to live with that, not those that are criticizing
Absolutely.
you. And there's really nothing to criticize because this is the way to do this.
Yeah.
And you got families in here that could take a step back from that tragic day. I'm pretty sure they would let's do whatever it takes. So they shouldn't be criticizing. They should sort of learn, be a little bit more educated, learn a little bit more about what's going on.
You're all shaking your head about losing a child, but that is potentially preventable.
Yeah, I mean, knowing that you could have.
I think it's the difference between face up and face down. It's your option, life and death.
So Jake, when he fell in the water, he was fully clothed, and it was a little chilly up there in New Smyrna, so he had on heavy pants, he had a pullover, a diaper, shoes. With ISR, one thing to point out, once they're skilled, they have to test out in summer clothes and winter clothes. So they simulate the child falling in. So at that point, at almost 3 years old, had he started like my girls at a young age, I'm confident he would have saved himself. Mm-hmm. He would have immediately gone into his float. He would have known how to do it in his clothes. So instead, I live with the thoughts of my son falling in and not knowing what to do.
That's right.
And
it's funny because we have this walkathon that's coming about walking in people's shoes. I was going to ask the question because when you have the children in the pool, they're in clothes or Pampers, or they're in Pampers. They get very heavy when they absorb all that water. To get around all of these scenarios. I mean, I'm thinking a million miles a minute here about clothing up north. You put on a sweater. That thing gets heavy. It gets heavy for an adult.
When they test them in that, there's so many videos.
What's important to mention is that over 80% of the time when a child does fall in, we're not expecting them to be in a bathing suit. They do fall in with their clothing on.
There you go. Good point.
And hoodies on and full diapers on. So they need to know how to self-rescue in that circumstance. And the great thing is through the end of our lessons is we can be there at an arm's distance so they can have that experience happen so that if, God forbid, it does happen in real life, they're not panicked because they've already had that experience and lived through it. So they can feel really successful.
Let's go to commercial break. Dylan, I think, is looking for the video. When we come back, more with Live Like Jake, Lifesaver, and Infant Swimming Resources. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Let's all welcome a new sponsor to the show. It's Amp2 TV. the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet TV radio production company, discover AMP2 TV, a full-service production company that can provide all streaming videos in studio or remotely. They offer web page development, and they use all the latest platforms to help make all your business selling points more powerful. They can do remotes or live radio streaming as well as tape productions for social media platforms and television. AMP2 TV can handle all of your television needs, including closed caption for a perfect on-air telecast. Choose from a variety of creative TV and radio packages or visit one of their many studios to get your creative juices flowing. Come and see why AMP2 TV works with many major companies, including Comcast, Bravo, and Fox 29, as well as individuals and businesses of all types and sizes. To see samples of their work or to find out more, visit their website at amp2.tv. That's A-M-P, the number 2.tv, or call them at 866-224-5422. Feel free to call for a quote or just a consult of how to put your business on a social media platform or radio platform, or just doing a show that is covered by all platforms. Call 866-224-5422 and make an appointment. That's 866-224-5422.
Do you want to enhance your love life with flowers? Rejuvenate love, life, health with flowers from Blossom Moments? Weekly deliveries to your home, your business, hospital, or even senior centers. Give us a call at 561-951-6343. Blossom Moments could also coordinate your wedding or event. Contact Blossom Moments at bmgevents.net. For all of your floral event needs, large or small, call Blossom Moments. 561-951-6343. And we look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you for watching the Brooklyn Cafe, where every day is a new adventure. If you'd like to join Dawn and Freddie S. at the cafe, give them a call at 888-565-1470 toll-free. Come on in for a cup of coffee or call to share a thought for the day and get all the information you need to help your business grow. Don't forget, sharing is caring, and to like this video. Let's reopen the cafe doors now. Back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back.
And we're back at the Brooklyn Cafe TV. How's that multitasking going over there, guys?
How you doing,
Thumbs up. We're all good. Give us a call, 888-565-1470. There's so much information that we are giving out today. Dylan, did you find this video?
Yeah, I'm downloading.
All right, let us know when it's downloaded.
You know, the amazing thing about the stories today is we do live in Florida, and we are surrounded by an accident waiting to happen. And I know a lot of people will watch the show and then go back to their lives and do whatever they do. And it isn't until tragedy comes to your doorsteps and all of a sudden you're going to hear, you know, you had an opportunity to make a difference. Mm-hmm. And we always talk about, don't wait until something affects your life to make a difference. Take a shot, do it now, fix it. I mean, we got this gentleman here. I think you should be mandated on every house sold in Florida, even if they don't have a pool. Just mandate it. You know why? Because if they get a pool, if they live on a lake, if they live by a canal, I mean, Florida has this idea, making big holes, filling it with water, and letting it evaporate.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell is that? I mean, that is the craziest system that they have in here. So there's, by the highway, there's a lake, and there's another lake over here, and there's another lake over there, and everywhere you go.
You know, and they put up the guardrails now on the highways, right, because of all the accidents that were happening in cars that were going into the water, and they teach so much about what you need in your car to be able to get out of your car in an accident when you're in a body of water. But let's talk about these bodies of water for our children. The buckets of water, right? We leave them around the house. The bathtubs, when you go and answer the phone. Does ISR help with that as well? Because there's not a type of, right, you're not floating in that sense.
Well, when it comes to a bucket, you have to be diligent. I mean, you have to have enough space to be able to turn over and float in order for it to be useful. A bathtub, it could be very helpful, and for sure, we're teaching children to pull themselves up at the steps so they could be able to pull themselves up and out of the water, or if the water is deep enough, that they could roll to their back and float, and give them that time so that the parent is there. But as parents, we do need to be aware that anytime there's water around, that it does pose a danger regardless.
And that is the first thing that Carrie said to me, and we both have grown kids, but now you've got grandchildren coming. Things you forget, it's the layers. And it's what you spoke to. It's the layers of prevention. It's watching and being diligent and supervision, and the swimming lessons and the ISR and the pool fence, and then more diligence, because the more eyes you have on these children, the more they're supervised. I mean, there's so many things. Dylan, you have the video?
Yes. Something else too is doggy doors. People don't think about the doggy doors, but there are quite a few drownings that happen that way, where the child escapes through the door and into the water. And another thing is that Florida had 88 drownings last year, drowning deaths in Florida. And we've already had 5 in January of this year.
And they can reach out to you. How do they find you? I want to give everyone's information out as much as we can.
LiveLikeJake.com is our website, and InfantSwim.com and PoolFence.com. I'm all memorized.
All right, Dylan, we have the video.
Yeah, just playing. We'll talk
play the video, and then Carrie, you can walk us through. This is your daughter.
So so she was 2.5 weeks into her lessons. She was actually kind of a pro. She did it very easily, and we were already working on summer clothes, and she was done with her lesson, and we were getting ready to go out, and I said, why don't you just set her up in a situation, let's see, and so the instructor Stacy is recording, and as you can see, she very quickly gets over to her float.
My heart just hit my shoes.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. When you don't know, it can affect you, but she doesn't cry. She was perfect. She always kept her little mouth, her little lips pursed and closed, and was just kind of a natural. And see right here, she looks and then she corrects it.
That's incredible.
I think it's important to point out that she will be 4 this month and is a mermaid. And yesterday I had them swimming, and she can now do flips in the water. She can dive down and get sticks. My other daughter, who's 5, can do the same.
That's remarkable. I mean, that was a matter of what, 3 seconds she flips over?
Now, how old was she when she did this?
6.5 months. She had been in the lessons 2.5 weeks.
Now, how long is she going to stay in this position? How long can she float?
We tested her, like she could even do longer than 5 minutes, but this video is 1 minute and 50 seconds.
Okay, so she could have done at least 5 minutes, which gives ample time to say, where's the baby? And the first thing you're going to do is look in the pool. That's a big difference, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you're parents of a child you lost, so therein lies the difference. So if you're screaming anything, then you know what? Take an aspirin, because there's really something wrong with you. Now, for those of you who are on the radio, we are actually playing the video. So if you go to the Brooklyn Cafe TV, you can see the video. I applaud that. I mean, my heart fell into my shoes when she went face first, but that's part of the deal, right? That's what you're teaching. That's amazing. I mean, I'm just amazed.
From people, I don't want to hear my kid cry. And I was like, well, I'd rather hear them cry for 10 minutes a day, 5 days a week for 4 to 6 weeks than never at all.
That's right. Never again at all.
And I think something that's important to point out is Jake took traditional swim lessons the summer he passed away. And he had 5 weeks of lessons and learned nothing. They were 20 minutes a day, and they were 4 days a week. He cried every single day. I still brought him. They never even took their hands off of him. So there is a difference when you are, looking to put your child in swim lessons, to please research it and make sure that the child is taught how to self-rescue. If it's not infant swim, that it's at least a program that's not teaching the kids to blow bubbles and that the water's fun and that they don't know what to do in it, because then they're drawn to it that much more, and then when they fall in, they have no idea what to do.
I was going to ask real quick, you're running across a child who just fights you tooth and nail, fight you, and you're going to have that patience.
Probably all the time.
Have that patience to keep going.
Yes, but I only have to see them 10 minutes a day.
How often do you do it?
We actually deal with a lot of really difficult children that have come from previous programs before, that may have developmental delays. For a variety of reasons, they all pose their own challenge. Sometimes they're super stubborn. I look over here because Kaysen gave me a run for sure. But the thing that's really amazing about this program is it can work for any child. we meet them at the level that they're at, and we teach them the way they lead us to be taught, rather than us coming with some cookie cutter approach and saying, today we're going to swim to the wall. Tomorrow we're going to pick up a stick off of the second step. We don't go to the lesson that way. We actually let the child guide us to where we go next, so that way we can teach them always to go towards safety and away from anything that's going to be dangerous, but ultimately still shape these skills that they need to be able to swim for fun, but also be able to swim and float if, God forbid, there wasn't somebody there to help them.
And it's 10 minutes a day, how many times a week?
5 days a week, Monday through Friday, for about 6 weeks. That's for our walking age. So for our roll back to float students, like the video you just saw, it takes about 4 weeks to teach that in total, 5 days a week.
Now, there's no timetable, right? If your kid is going to be stubborn for 3 weeks and then gets on the program, and it goes 6 weeks, it goes 8 weeks, is there a timetable where you end it and just move on, or we just keep going?
We keep going until we know they've nailed the skills that without a doubt they'd always be able to.
We definitely keep going. We definitely keep going. Kason started at 6 months. He's not your typical ISR student. He is stubborn. He has went through, well, he's done with 3 different ISR instructors, and he will tell Christy, no, are you ready to go? No. He'll tell her no.
But he does it.
But he does it, yep.
Let's give out phone numbers. For ISR, how can people reach you?
The phone number, we don't have a national phone number, so it's best just to visit the website, which is infantswim.com.
And for...
Same thing, probably best just to go to the website, poolfence.com.
Poolfence.com. And Live Like Jake, I want to make sure that we talk about your 5K.
So May 11th is going to be our 5th annual 5K. Last year we had over 1,400 participants, so it's a nice big event in Abacoa. We bring in families from all over that have been affected by a drowning, ones that have survived, which is awesome to bring them up on stage and, you know, applaud them. We also do Lifesaver Awards, so we have some people that have, you know, made a difference and saved a child's life. And it's a lot of fun. Super early in the morning at 7 a.m. for the 5K. Then we have a 1 mile walk.
I was looking at 8:15 going, oh, it's not so bad, but I missed the 7 a.m.
Yeah, 5K is at 7 a.m. But then we have a kids zone from 8 to 10, which is free, and they'll have a lot of fun stuff for the kids. One other thing, if you don't mind, that we haven't talked about that I think is super, super important is pool drains. That's another thing, and I just recently had a friend that their daughter almost drowned, 10 years old, an extremely good swimmer, because the drain had her sucked in.
Really?
So if you have a pool, and I don't know what year it is, maybe if your pool's 10 years or older, please have somebody look at your drain, because they are extremely dangerous.
Wow.
Holy smoke.
Yeah, you wouldn't, and most people wouldn't know that. So if you have a pool
Everybody
that's older,
added the pool.
if it's a flat drain, then you definitely need to get it.
Yeah.
You definitely need to get that changed out, because this is
her hair gets stuck in it.
Hair, or this was her
Hair,
back, and she had a hematoma this
Yeah.
big on her back. And if it wasn't for her friend yelling and this dad jumping in and ripping her off of this, she would not be here.
I knew
Super
somebody
important.
who was doing something on the pool, and her ring got caught on the pool light.
Oh.
And she could not get it loose, and she couldn't
Get
rip
off her
it
finger.
off her finger. And she kept her head. She panicked, she would have been done. She kept her head and she ripped it off, and she got up.
Wow.
She got up.
Oh my gosh, thank you all so much for joining us. More information, contact livelikejake.com. Of course, yes? livelikejake.com. Or you can always find us. You can call the radio station. You can find us on Facebook. Anything we can do to spread the awareness. More information coming out. We're going to do a special edition of the Brooklyn Cafe Gazette to spotlight all of these amazing families and foundations and companies. All I can say is our blessings are with you all. And thank you so much for joining us and sharing your stories. And thank you for all of your resources.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Yes,
spreading
thank
the
you.
awareness.
Yes,
all of
thank
you
you
guys,
so much.
You know.
great job. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Be kind to each other.
Don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Pure Wave. Supercharge your cells. Energize your body with Pure Wave therapy. Internationally patented, Pure Wave technology helps eliminate radiation from modern electronic devices, which can cause chronic disease. Pure Wave technology strengthens the immune system and metabolism while activating hormone production. PureWaveNow.com, 561-965-7777. Are you ready for improved cell regeneration, less discomfort, a longer, healthier, vital life? Contact PureWaveNow.com for your consultation. Non-invasive technology promotes relaxation, a better quality of life, and more energy. Call PureWave now at 561-965-7777, purewavenow.com.
The Heart of Delray Gallery, located in the Delray Art Complex, is one of South Florida's top venues for art, culture, music, and private events. The Heart of Delray Gallery is a cutting-edge, 11,000 square foot art exhibition showcasing local artists and artisans with the highest quality of talent and vision, highlighting South Florida's creative arts. Visit us at the Heart of Delray Gallery, 1440 North Federal Highway in Delray Beach. Come, take a tour, book your next private event or fundraiser, or join us for Art Walk the first Friday of every month from 6 to 11 p.m. For more information, give us a call at 561-278-0074.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show is over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more goodwill next time. You can follow the cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.